Well, I'm angry. I'm angry. I know I don't sound like it right now because I'm trying to gather my thoughts so I can say this the correct way, but Blizzard is dead to me. They've been dead to me for a while, but I always kind of assumed they'd come back. You know, eventually I'd play World of Warcraft or Heroes of the Storm or, you know, Diablo would come out. It was something that would interest me and I'd play again. Maybe they'd come out with a new IP. I mean, really, really unlikely, but I always assumed that someday I would cool down and I would play their games again, you know, and maybe they would change leadership, or maybe they'd change their culture, or maybe they'd start doing things differently, and I'd come back to them. It was a break, but it was like a hard break, you know. It wasn't like I just need a weekend off from Blizzard, you know. Kind of an emotional thing because I grew up playing Blizzard games. One of the very first games I really, really got into was Warcraft. The first one. It's the whole reason I bought a computer in the first place is because I wanted to play Warcraft and not have to go over to my friend's house and use their parents' computer to do it. So, I mean, Blizzard had a place in my heart that I held very dear, and I will never buy another thing from this company for as long as I fucking live. I want that to sink in. I want that venom in my voice to sink in. I will never buy another thing from Blizzard for as long as I draw breath. If they were selling the drugs that would keep me alive, and I was dying, I would die, rather than pay them a cent, a red fucking cent, to even live another 5 minutes. Why? Why would I say that? Why would I be so angry? Why would I, kill the gain on my microphone? Why would I do that, right? Why would I do that? Why would I say something so crazy about Blizzard? Well, because there's this kid who's just he's just a guy who plays Hearthstone, and he won a tournament, and some announcers in Chinese asked him if he wanted to say any final words, and he did. He said in Chinese some stuff in support of the protesters in Hong Kong. And let's not call them protesters, by the way. They're not protesters. They're not fucking sitting there carrying signs and protesting out in front of a Starbucks about some stupid racial shit or some stupid sexist shit. They're not Antifa, okay? They're not protesters. But really what it is revolution. Really what it is people fighting for their rights. People fighting for their freedoms. That's not protesting. Protesting is fucking LARPing in this country. Protesting is a fucking joke in this country. People walk around with their fucking pussy hats on and shit. What are you protesting over here? Are we tying up women and putting them in cages, huh? What are you protesting over here? We're fucking Orange Man bad? They're getting shot in the streets over there. They're getting taken out of their country, which is essentially what Hong Kong is to them. They're getting taken out of their country, shipped to another one, where they have different laws, completely different standards, and they're draconian. They're fucking draconian. You say something wrong, you get disappeared because there's a billion of you. And so you do not fucking matter. And Blizzard bent the fucking knee to them. So why does this bother me? Why does this bother me so much, right? I keep asking that question. I had to think about it all fucking day. Why does it bother me so much? Because Blizzard is an American company. And Blizzard Activision just said, fuck the First Amendment, fuck human rights, fuck the freedom of expression, fuck Hong Kong, fuck that kid, fuck those two announcers, fuck everyone, we want money. That's why I'm pissed. You know what? I want money too. You know why I want money? I want money so I can buy a house, so I can buy a nice car, so I can provide for a family, so I can take care of my folks and my family that exists right now. That's why I want money. I want money so I can buy nice things, so I can have fun. So why the fuck does Bobby Kotick and his bunch want money? Why do they want money? I don't want their money. I don't want them to give me their money. I don't want them to give up their money. I'm just curious. Where does the buck actually stop? Where do they stop looking for money? Because it sure as shit isn't, when somebody is standing up for somebody else's rights. Hell no. Now fucking Blizzard will come out and say, oh, we stand up for gay rights. We stand up for LGBT rights. We stand up for representation and diversity and inclusion. Bullshit. Bullshit. You stand up for it when it's the easy thing to do. You stand up for it when it's a sure win for your bottom fucking line. You don't stand up for it when people are dying. You don't care. If that kid, that Hearthstone player, if he went out right now, today, in Hong Kong, and some Chinese fucking assassin, some fucking thug from the communist nation of China, just dragged him into a fucking car, and they shot him and left him in a fucking alleyway, Kotick would sleep fine. He'd just go to sleep tonight. It'd be fine. All of his pals, all the friends, and all the wonderful people who run Blizzard, they'd just sleep fine. All the people in the government in China would fucking sleep fine. They don't give a fuck. They're making money. They're making shitloads of money. And that's all they care about is that 5% they're getting from fucking 10 cent. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I am used to fucking corporations being terrible. I am used to them killing you, killing people, exploiting people, running fucking oil lines through entire countries and taking them over and killing people. I'm used to it. And I've always known. I grew up with this. I've always known that they were evil. You see, it's Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice that which can be easily attributed to negligence, right? This ain't fucking negligence. This is clear. This is concise. This is on the nose. They wanted this. They wanted this. The people who fucking released that goddamn statement that Blizzard put up, that fired this kid, that fucking banned the other 2 kids, that fucking fined the first kid 2 years worth of pay. They wanted this. And they wanted this because China wanted this. I mean, that's what pisses me off the most. An American company is saying, yes, sir, China, sir, we'll do whatever you want, massa. Yes, sir, China, sir, we'll go ahead and do whatever you say. We'll shine your shoes, you fucking slaves. You're slaves. If you're at the top of Blizzard right now and you were in China, at some point, your ass would be dragged out of that boardroom and shot because you make a mistake. That's what China is. Now, Americans, we've ignored it. Why? Because it wasn't bad enough that it affected us. It wasn't bad enough that it affected hardly any of us. Most of us, what do? We avoid buying shit that's made in China for the most part, right? What else can you do? I can't go get weapons and then go to China and solve the problem. There's not enough of me to do it. I'm not trained for it. Even with our military, and we have a considerable military, it's not so easy as just invading. But you know what does solve the problem? You know what stops it from getting worse? It's not giving an inch on your principles. Not giving a single fucking inch. If someone says, I'm going to take this kid, this 20-year-old, probably more grown up than most of the 20-year-olds in this country, and I'm going to censor him. I'm going to ruin his life. I'm going to take away all of his income, and then I'm going to throw him to the dogs. I'm going to say, here, this kid, he's a traitor. You may have him now. Bring him to the gulags. Fucking just baffles me. It baffles me. Because, like I said, this isn't something that was a mistake. Blizzard didn't do it by accident. Somebody in Blizzard didn't go, oh, oops, I hit the ban button by accident. I slipped, I knocked over my coffee, and now that guy's banned, and so are the other 2 guys banned. Oh, and then, oops, I typed this entire fucking sentence out, and then it became a paragraph, and then it became several paragraphs. About how much we respect people's opinions and their rights to express those opinions, but fuck your opinions if they go against what we like. Fuck your opinions if it goes against, specifically, China. Yeah, what about my opinion? I'm an American. What about the opinions of Americans who like freedom of speech? What about their opinions? What if we just tell you to go fuck yourself? How about that? Why don't you just go ahead and move to fucking China? How about that? You want that money so badly? Take your entire fucking company and move there. Everybody who wants to go with you. I'm not saying force the people in Blizzard to go there. No. I'm saying pick your lazy ass up and move to Beijing. Go. No one here wants you. No one. Leave. If you don't want to be an American, that's fine. Nobody's keeping you here. Nobody's forcing you to be a fucking American. Nobody's forcing you to appreciate the fact that we have the First Amendment and freedom of speech. No one is forcing you to appreciate that shit. No one's keeping you here. Get the fuck out. Go somewhere where you can make all that nice China money. Beijing's probably a lot better than fucking America, right? I mean, you don't have any exchange rates, right? There's no tariffs. There's no fucking reason for you not to move. Oh, except I forgot. We don't drag you out of a boardroom in America if you fuck up. We don't disappear you into a fucking prison somewhere. We don't disappear your entire family if you say something against one of our superior leaders. Like, in this country, Bobby Kotick could fucking make a Twitter post where he says he hates Trump. He could say that. He could say Trump looks like a giant baby. He could do that. You know what? Fucking Kathy Griffin did that. She cut off a fucking head of a dummy that looked exactly like Trump, and then she held it up, and guess what happened to her? Well, people just didn't like her after that. She's still breathing. She's not in prison. I'm sure people ain't paying her as much money because, as it turns out, she's just kind of a miserable cunt. But that doesn't mean that anybody fucking disappeared her into a prison. Nobody fed her to any dogs. She didn't have any fucking re-education. Nobody said, hey, she's a little bit psychopathic. We need to put her inside of a psychiatric ward so she can get quote-unquote help. So she's not a harm to other people around her. It's because we don't live in a communist nation. We don't live in a fascist nation. We live in America. It ain't perfect, but it's sure shit better than goddamn China. And you motherfuckers, you actually bent the knee to those pieces of shit. It is the weakest, most pathetic thing I think I've seen in years. And I see a lot of shit on the fucking internet. A lot of cringy shit, a lot of pathetic shit. You didn't stick by your ideals even slightly. You didn't even try to defend them. Just this thin fucking veneer of, oh yeah, we're real PC, we're real nice. All for that 5% of 10-cent fucking money. And the hundreds of billions of dollars we'll make if we just sell our fucking mobile products to Chinese people. It's scummy enough beforehand that you're fucking profiting off the fact that Chinese people are generally miserable. You got incredible fucking richness there. Incredible wealth. Right next door, literally right down the street from a guy carrying a rat in his hand because he's going to go home and cook that shit for dinner. And by go home, I mean literally go down the street, go into his little box apartment, which is just a fucking cage with a bed. He's going to stand outside of it and he's going to cook that goddamn rat and eat it because he's got nothing else to eat. You've got a fucking country that builds entire cities in months and no one lives in it. You got a country that goes from place to place in the world building a fucking rail line that they can't maintain. And they man, you motherfuckers are bending the knees to these people. Tiananmen Square, ring a fucking bell, 10,000 Chinese people dead in a day because they just disagreed with the people in charge. It is the basest, most insidious bullshit. And you know what's really bad about this is there are people out there who say it's inevitable. This is just inevitable. It's just market forces. Fuck you. This isn't the fucking waves crashing on the shore. It doesn't happen just because it does. It's not the fucking sun rising. It's not the stars coming out at night. We have a choice about what we do. You didn't get painted into a corner by the market. China didn't force you to do shit. You are in America. You can tell China to go fuck itself. Go, okay. All right, all that money influx. Fuck it. You don't want it? That's fine. Oh, but you won't do that, right? Because then you'd lose your job. You'd lose your job. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. People are losing their lives over the shit that you're just afraid of losing your job for. I mean, there are people starving. There are people getting shot. There are people getting fucking brain hemorrhages, put in hospitals. And you're worried about like 5% of the company. You're worried about nothing. I mean, Bobby Kotick could go work in a fucking deli. He'd be fine. He'd be fine for the rest of his fucking life. He could work at Safeway. Or Sam's Club, or whatever the fuck. He could just work there for the rest of his life, and he wouldn't starve. His fucking family wouldn't starve. What would he lose? He'd lose a couple cars? Right? I'm so fucking angry about this. And if you're angry, if you're listening to this right now, if you're not like one of those people that actually work at Blizzard and are just miserable with this fucking decision, I mean, I feel for you. I do, because you probably had, I doubt at all that anybody who works at Blizzard, for the most part, had any say in this goddamn decision whatsoever. I bet it was like 5 people, you know what I mean? Like, a couple of people at the very top, a person that they fucking strong-armed into writing the post, because you know damn well it wasn't a CEO or a CFO at fucking Blizzard writing that post. No fucking way. There's probably like 12 people total. A couple people at Twitch who were just in charge of the stream. A couple people in China who were really pissed. And then there was like one sad sack who had to write that fucking community post. And then there were some people at Reddit and some people at the fucking the forums who had to turn off the forums and shut down the Reddit for the day. Okay, other than those people, if you work at Blizzard, I feel for you. I really do. Because it sucks having to find a new job. It sucks telling your boss to go fuck themselves. But, if I was in your shoes right now, I mean, even if I was broke, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves. This is the kind of shit that would make me quit my job. I'd walk the fuck out. But I wouldn't walk out silently. I'd go up straight up to my boss and tell him, I'm quitting because of you, you dumb motherfucker. It doesn't matter if you say, oh, it's because no political shit should be said on the stream. No. Bullshit. It's not neutrality. It's not neutrality. You know what neutrality is? Here's what neutrality is. They're not breaking any laws. Let them say their piece. Move on. That's not what you did. That's not what you guys did. You guys didn't do that. So this isn't about neutrality. This is so blatantly obvious. You're selling freedom for money. Which means you deserve neither, really. Because you're going to lose both if you keep going down this road. And not from crazy people like me. Not for people who love freedom. People like me would never take it from you. Why would we? Why would I ever take freedom from you? Why would I take freedom from anybody? But you're a scumbag. And China doesn't need scumbags. They're using you. You're a fucking tool. Oh, sure, you're making billions of dollars. You're not going to run China. You're not going to be part of the ruling party. You're not Chinese, first off. And even if you were Chinese, you're not the right kind of Chinese. You're not communist. You're in a capitalist nation. They will shoot you if they take control. The only reason that you think it's alright is because they're not in your country right now, physically, with guns. That can change in a fucking heartbeat. And you and your dumbass are sitting there like, oh, I'm making so much money. I don't care about that. I won't be around for it. Who says? Who says? If you don't stop them now with your words, if you don't stop them now with your just simple fucking actions, if you can't show them that they're weak, even at this far-flung theater, even at this hill that is so far away from the actual battle that you can't even see it, then you've already lost the main war. If communism comes, you're going to bend the knees just as easy as you did now. They're not even here yet. If they're coming, which who knows if they are, but if they did decide to come here, you'd bend the knee because you already bent it. You already gave up. And that's why I'm pissed. I'm pissed because you betrayed everything that's good about this country. Everything about it. The First Amendment. It's the very first one. It's the only one that I 100% believe in without any hesitation. You can argue against it all you want, but it's the only one that makes sense. It's the only one that goes for every country, every culture, every single one, without fail. It is the only one out of all the ones we have that I'm like, if we could have nothing else, freedom of speech is the only thing that I believe that we should be able to keep if we could keep nothing else. And you said, fuck it. You said, fuck it. You just went, fuck it, man. I like money. I want money. In fact, fuck it. I'm going to take this kid's money. Probably like, $20, $30, $50,000 worth of fucking money. Fuck him. And fuck his content that he created for your fucking game. Fuck all the people he brought into your game. Your failing game, Hearthstone. Fuck that, right? Fuck all that. Fuck the Quid Quo Pro. He said something bad about Daddy China. We better make sure we take everything from him. Yeah, fuck him. Well, you know what? You know what, Blizzard? Fuck you. Fuck you very much. You're never getting another dime from me. I don't even give a shit if you apologize. I'm never paying you another dollar. If you're going to be taking money and you're going to be taking fucking, essentially bribes from China, then fuck you. I ain't giving you a goddamn dime. I couldn't care what you fucking produce now. And I hope all the people that work for your company that are good people, I hope they quit, and I hope they go somewhere that's not as shit as you. I hope they find another company, and I hope that company beats the shit out of you on the market. I hope they just fucking ream you. And I hope Kodak ends up in a fucking cardboard box. I really do. I hope his family's okay. I hope they I hope they divorce him. You know what I mean? And then they just go off and they live in the Caymans and they're just having a great time. And he gets like little pictures from him now and again, just like, oh, it looks like they're doing great. Some fucking guy in a suit will just pull up, drive a car, just pull up, stop, get out of the fucking car, hand him a picture. They're doing fine, sir. Enjoy your box. And they get back in the car and then drive off and spit fucking, dirt and exhaust in his face as he cries into his fucking cardboard box. That's what I hope. So you can call this an emotional reaction. You can call this a very over-the-top emotional reaction. That's fine. You can call it that. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the only reasonable response. This is it. Here's the thing. So these fuckers that run these companies, they know how to play the game. They know how to play the game. They know how to play the field. They know what's going to cost them some money but make them a lot of money. That's why they're incredibly rich. But this time, man, this time is different. I couldn't possibly begin to explain why, and I might be wrong. Who knows? When I listen to this recording again, we'll see. I mean, it's currently, it's the 9th of October, 2019, so who knows what the future will bring, but this time is different. This is absolutely different. I've never felt a kind of hatred for a company. I've never felt this kind of hatred before. And it's not hatred that's irrational. It's straight up rational. They're taking people's freedoms away. They're destroying lives. They're destroying individuals for the sake of the collective, for the greater good. More evil words have never been spoken. And Kodak is just, and the rest of them are just they're just feeding into it. Anybody who supports them is feeding into it. I mean, I can't blame you too much if you really love WoW Classic and you love WoW and you love Diablo and you love Heroes of the Storm or whatever. If you love the Blizzard products, man, I feel for you. I do. Because now you're fucking in a rock and a hard place. You are. If you still support them, that's... I mean, maybe you have some sort of an argument. Maybe you got something like, it's not going to change anything. I mean, I think you're wrong. And I'm not going to stop you from fucking having your sub. How could I? Why would I, even if I had the power to? Even Bethesda, I think they're just a scumbag company with their fucking... with their Fallout 76 jacket and the rum. What else do we get? The microtransaction store fiasco, all of the bullshit with the game itself. I mean, I don't even hate them. Like, if Todd Howard was in front of me and I had the chance to, like, either shake his hand or just ignore him, I'd probably just be like, hey man, you really screwed up. And I'd be like, what are you doing to fix that? I'd be kind of rude, but that's because I think he probably needs somebody to be rude to him, not because I hate him, I mean, if I was in charge of fucking Bethesda, I'd probably just fire Todd Howard and whoever else is making the terrible decisions and just change a lot of the company so they can make good games again. My point is, they're scummy, right? And I don't hate them. Ubisoft is scummy. I don't hate them. Fucking EA is super scummy. And, I don't really hate them. I think the CEO is I think he's probably Satan. He looks like he is. But I don't hate him, EA came out with a game later on at some point down the future, and I just kind of was like, fuck it, maybe I'll play it. Probably not, because I think they're a terrible company. But I mean, the door's open for all these other ones for them to convince me. That's what I'm saying. EA could turn a corner and just be like, oh, actually, we really want to start making games again, instead of making microtransactions that are dressed as games, right? They could do that, and I'd totally be okay with it. I'd be like, yeah, I'll buy your shit. But I'm telling you now, no matter what Blizzard does, no matter how they try to fix things, no matter what, I will never give them money. I will never stop disliking them, and they are dead to me as a company. They're dead to me. I wish I could return Warhammer 1 and 2 on GOG. Because I bought it on GOG because I figured, fuck it, it'd be nice to be able to play those games again. I liked those games. Hell, I don't even think I'll pirate their shit. I won't even sail the high seas for their crap anymore. And I loved their games. Loved them. You betrayed us, Blizzard. You betrayed that young man. You betrayed those 2 casters. You betrayed all of us. You betrayed yourselves. You betrayed the people working underneath you. You betrayed all of your customers who loved your products, who loved your company. You betrayed the American people. And I know that sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. You betrayed the American people. Somebody who is saying, I hope that these people who are fighting for freedom of speech and freedom in general, I hope that they do well. You said, fuck you, don't speak again. It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I hope the individuals at Blizzard actually learn their lesson, and I hope that they become better people, I even Bobby Kotick. I said that whole thing about him living in a cardboard box. But that's more like I just kind of hope he learns to appreciate the fact that he's richer than God, and he should stop trying to fuck up things and make more money than God, since he's already fucking won that battle. It's not because I hate him. It's not because I want him to have bad things happen to him. I don't want bad things to happen to people. That's why I dislike China so much. They're so fucking good at it. And that's why I don't like what these people did. How could you support that? How could you support something like that? Well, I'll tell you how you support something like that. You choose to. You choose to. They chose this. It wasn't inevitable. They chose it. Well, I'm choosing to keep my money for the rest of my fucking life, Blizzard. You guys can go fuck yourselves.
We are